If you follow along, and many of you do, you know that a few weeks ago I stuck some trail cams out at our campsite on the river. Then I went back and raised the trail cams up to about 20 foot channel so that the river wouldn't flood them because I was going to Michigan. Then while I was in Michigan, the river went to 21 foot and flooded them. And some of you have been asking, and then I went back for autopsy, a recovery. So some of you have been asking how it turned out. Well, I'd hoped to get some pictures of the water rising, and I didn't. I had hoped for my trail cams to survive, and one didn't and one did. Evidently, the water, they were just slightly higher than the other. One was, and the water got just above it. And one thing I did get a lot of was a lot of coyote pictures. I only posted one that next week. But so now the water's down. The campsite looks pretty good. It doesn't look like it's going to flood for a while. So I'm on my way back out today to reset some trail cams, maybe in a better location, not for flooding, because I don't expect that now, but maybe to catch some of those coyotes. So we'll see if we get some. Other than that, I welcome you to join me on this little excursion. Okay, I'm going to tell you some short stories about camping. I recently had a camping bug, and leave you with some short riddles that you'll try off somebody else and see if you agree with them. Short story number one. A number of years ago, my kids and I went out with black lights to the Sonoran Desert at like 1 or 2 in the morning, sometime fairly early in the morning. We were looking for scorpions because scorpions glow under a black light. And I'll show you a picture if I can find one of the scorpions we took a picture of. And I turned on a white light, just like you can see around, when I was standing next to a bush, looked down, and right by my feet was a coiled up rattlesnake. And so I did what any good photographer would do. I snapped a picture of it and stepped back a step. And the snake scooted off into its own direction. It wasn't in the mood to fight. It wasn't angry or anything like that. But if I can find the picture, this is the closest picture that I have ever taken, closest I've ever been to a diamondback rattlesnake with no protection at all. Just him and me. Or she and me. Here's the question. What's more dangerous? A scorpion or a rattlesnake? Are you ready for another one now? Years ago, my father-in-law, Eber, my mother-in-law, Alice, and Sue and I all went camping together down by Crooked Creek, Lemoyne River, for those of you that are not from Schuyler County. And we didn't use a tent or anything like that. We just rolled out sleeping bags on the ground near the creek. So the next morning when we woke up, we looked around. Whoops, that was a bump. The next morning when we looked around, we saw coyote footprints around our campsite and in between our sleeping bags. And even my sleeping bag and my wife Sue's sleeping bag, between the two of us, we saw coyote footprints. I never forgot that. It's kind of creepy thinking that you were visited during the night while you were asleep. But it brings me to the next quiz. Okay, ready? And here's the next question. Which is more dangerous? A coyote at night or a buck deer in rut? Some of you deer hunters may want to weigh in on this one. I've actually been hiking in places and camped once in a place where there was a verified cougar sighting. I probably would not have done it if I had known it. Well, which is more frightening for you? Bobcats, which seem to be everywhere, or cougar, which have a rare sighting now and then. So it's time to put my boots on and spray down with bug spray, which I just did. Brings me to the next riddle. We seem to have a terror of ticks nowadays, and all of this is kind of mowed, so I have a place to walk. But a lot of people are also injured by mosquitoes. So here's the question. Which is more dangerous? Got stuck. Ticks or mosquitoes? Now, we're probably not talking so scary right now, but one night I was camping back in here, and right out here I saw the biggest opossum that I've ever seen in my life. When I first saw it in the dark, I thought it was a raccoon. It turned out to just be a big fat possum, kind of looking to see if we left any food scraps around. Which leads me to my next little quiz, my next question, riddle. What's more dangerous, or what's creepier to you, a possum or a raccoon? Well, I am about done with these little quizzes. I have maybe just 2 more to go. And one of them is, what is more dangerous? Being alone in a little boat out on the water? Or staying the night alone in a little tent? One more short story, one more short riddle, then I'll give you the answer to one of these riddles. Not all of them, just one. So you can kind of guess which one I'm going to give the answer to. But here's my last story. A couple of years before he passed away, my dad was 86 at the time, and he and I and Christina's family and Jonathan's family, all of our Arizona family, we went to the northeastern corner of Arizona, up on the Mogollon Rim, into the Colorado Plateau, and went camping one night. And I brought my camera, like I always do, wanted to take pictures in the dark, like I love to do, and left the campsite and kind of went back and took some pictures of the campsite from the dark, kind of took some pictures of a beautiful old dying tree from the dark. I was just having a great time with it, probably not paying as much attention as I should. We had eaten for the evening. I'm kind of guessing we might have left a little food out or something, but I'm in the dark, just not very far from the campsite. It's like just right over there, and I'm coming back in. And right next to me, there's this blood-curdling sound that just made everybody have, everybody just got goosebumps. It was kind of a... What we found out later, what it was they call it the moan of a black bear. So if you want to look up moan of a black bear on the internet, you can find what the sound was that we heard that night. So everybody inside the campsite was just, kind of creeped out by it. Never did see the bear. Don't know how close I was to it, but I probably disturbed him, and he was just going, leave me alone. So we went back, all got in the truck for a while, because we didn't want to fight. Except Dad, he wanted to fight. He wanted to grab a weenie roasting stick and go fight that bear, and I told him he had to get in the truck. I wasn't going to die trying to protect him. So, okay. So here's the last riddle. What is more dangerous? A mother bear with cubs, or some of the friends you take camping with you? Well, the answer to that little quiz is in the Bible. It's in the book of Proverbs in the Old Testament, chapter 17 and verse 12, I believe. And it simply says this: a bear robbed of her cubs is far less dangerous than a stubborn fool. So there it is. You might be safer with a bear robbed of her cubs than spending time with some of the people around you, or maybe some of the people around you would be safer than spending time with you. Whatever it is, stubbornness isn't cool, and being foolish isn't cool. And when you combine stubborn with foolish, it's downright dangerous. We're about to the end of another week, or at least in the middle of another week. We'll soon be back Sunday to worship our Lord together again. I'm looking forward to it. And between now and then, may God bless you. May God give you wisdom. May God soften up your stubborn streaks. And may God use you in great ways. God bless you.